With this video, we're halfway through covering the characters of One Step from Eden. This time, we're talking about Reva. Reva is an unlockable character, and she's the easiest one to unlock too. Once again, you can beat her in the 4th world or beyond, but the alternative method is to simply reach level 6. Every time you finish a run, you gain some experience points, which unlocks more options for the future playthroughs. I'm pretty sure it took me less than an hour to unlock Reva. Of course, we're talking about her default shield loadout. For her alternative beat loadout, you need to get the neutral ending with Reva. Reva also has an alternate costume called Cyber, which you get by getting one of the other 2 endings with Reva. You can also get this by getting the Best Defense achievement. It is not fun getting the Best Defense achievement. You need to gather over 9,999 points of shield in one go. If you really want to go for it, your best bet is finding something that generates shield naturally, and then spamming it in a hostage map. Shield Reva starts with 800 HP, and her weapon is the Reflector Gem. She has the exclusive Eschaton artifact, and starts with Shield Catch, Shield Throw, Shield Beam, and Shield Diag Beam. She starts with 3 max mana, and unique to her, 2 points of defense. This means that every attack she takes will have 2 points of damage subtracted from it. She also starts with one of her focuses set to Phalanx, so you don't have to go in and do that yourself. How thoughtful of her! I mentioned at the very end of my last video that Reva was the easiest character to play, and that's because of the Reflector Gem. This is tied with Saffron's wristwatch and Shiso's linchpin as being the best weapon in the game in my opinion, although all of them end up functioning very differently. The Reflector Gem costs 1 mana to use, and when used it gives you a very short period where you can reflect attacks back at the enemy. Keep in mind this isn't simply mirroring the attacks back onto them, but rather you release a bullet that deals however much damage the attack that you got hit by should deal, while you take nothing. Needless to say, this is an amazing ability that can let you survive a ton of stuff. With proper timing and some luck, you can even survive a certain attack that is meant to be unavoidable and unsurvivable. The name of the game with Reva is Building Shield. In addition to having unique access to Eschaton, which grants 1 point of shield for every step you take, 2 of your starting spells, Shield Beam and Shield Catch, also build shield. All of this built up defense can be turned into offense with Shield Throw, which deals damage equal to however much shield you had at the time of casting was. If you hit something with it and stay on the tile you cast Shield Throw on, you even get all your shield back. But if you whiff, you lose all your shield, so you have to be careful with this spell. Diag Beam is your standard offensive spell. It can be a bit hard to predict where it will go, but if you can get it down, you'll deal a lot of damage, especially in the early game. Reva comes with Phalanx as a default focus, and I'd recommend not setting a second focus. Good use of Shield Toss can easily carry you through the early game, and once that starts to fall off, you should have picked up a few more standard offensive spells naturally. There is one family of spells that Reva really likes though, and that's Misery. Misery is mostly made up of poison spells, but there are also a few spells that can patch up your HP, with poison whittling away at your foe's health and healing spells to patch up damage that slip through the shields. You should be having an easy time to get to the end. And as usual, Anima and Glimmer can also be chosen as a second focus to provide more straightforward forms of damage. The flame spells of Anima are particularly useful for Reva for the same reason Poison is. Reva has an easy time dealing with hostage maps, so Merit and Rescue Badge are great artifacts to pick up, although they're pretty rare. Hardened Shields, which makes defense affect shield loss, and Life Jacket, which gives 10 defense while shuffling, are also pretty great for Reva, especially used together. Undershirt grants a simple 2 defense, but that's never a bad thing. I'm pretty sure it can still be picked up multiple times, but I haven't had a run yet where I've been able to test that. If you really want to, you could try picking up Tight Pants. This will heal you for 140 HP at the start of every fight, and with Eschaton you'll cancel out the HP penalty. But I wouldn't recommend doing this because it also cancels out Eschaton's shielding. Next up is Reva's alternative kit, called Beat. She keeps the Reflector Gem from her shield loadout, but that's about it. Her new accessory is called the Flak Jacket, and now her starting spells are Pinch, Steel Skin, Corset, and Zenith. Reva loses 100 HP and the default Phalanx focus, but keeps all of her other starting stats, including the 2 points of defense. Beat Reva is a bit of an oddball. She's still a very good character, but that's mostly due to keeping the Reflector Gem. Most of the new stuff here is a straight downgrade if you're focusing on reflecting attacks. Her new exclusive artifact, Flak Jacket, fires a 20 damage shot every time you get hit. Note that this does not count if you end up reflecting the hit. Besides Zenith, her other 3 spells are designed with Flak Jacket in mind. Pinch lets you fire off Flak Jacket for basically free, but it becomes worthless very quickly. You can still find some niche uses for it if you really look though. Steel Skin gives you a ton of defense for a short bit, which is good for attacks you don't think you can dodge or reflect. And Corset's 40 damage penalty can be reflected, making it effectively 100 shield for 1 mana. Zenith is your main offensive option starting out. Just like Slicey, you aren't just casting the spell, but rather comboing it with your weapon. Reflecting Zenith does a ton of damage, but make sure you actually reflect the spell or else you'll be on the wrong end of a 120 damage shot. Beat Reva ends up playing very similarly to Shield Reva, and that includes spells and artifacts. Poison is much better on Beat Reva due to the much more passive nature of her starting kit. And Fellow Misery spell Revenge is also a standout since you're much more likely to get hit as Beat Reva. Other spells that indirectly deal damage, such as flame spells, are also very nice, but there's pretty much no case where that isn't the case. As for artifacts, Adaptive Armor, Kinetic Shield, Panther Habit, and Thornmail are all activated by getting hit, so keep those in mind. In the end, Reva is one of the best characters in One Step from Eden. Being able to block and reflect attacks is an absolute game changer, and while her standard offensive presence is a bit low, that can easily be fixed by finding the right combination of spells. There is one thing I haven't mentioned yet, and it's pretty important. Since you can't spare Reva if you play as Reva, that means you only have one go each run. Once you die, there's no way to revive yourself. But that's still a very small price to pay for all that Reva has to offer. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video or if it helped you out, please leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. It's supposed to help me out, but I'm not able to see any of the metrics that it supposedly helps. I think the next video is going to be on a certain mobile game, although I'm trying to change up my format a bit. I'm a bit sick of the more like reviews without a review score videos I make, like Legends Arceus. I kind of want to go more in the direction to say the Fire Emblem Heroes video, where it's more just a general discussion about the game. So I'm going to try to start doing more of those. If you want to see what they're like, tune in next time.